There's lots and lots of research to say that male and female brains work in a different way. And this is not necessarily me banging the drum for women, because I think an all-male board is probably no worse than an all-female board. So we are really looking for diversity. But the feminisation of leadership is about the type of skills that this workforce today need within the workplace. For example, nurturing, collaboration, teamwork, empathy, emotional intelligence. And there is evidence that women seem to have, in general, more of those type of skills, whereas previously it was more about ambition, drive, decision-making, autonomy, which is a bit old-fashioned these days, really, let's face it. Today's workforce will expect to work more collaboratively, but also independently, maybe at home. So there needs to be a lot more around trust, around respect, around being very clear about what needs to be done, around measuring outputs and not inputs. And therefore leadership skills will be very different from previously, when someone was handing out the instructions and people were being very compliant and going away and doing it and reporting back. So the leader has to be much more emotionally intelligent in the way they lead, and much better at creating good teams who will talk to each other, come up with the answers, do the work without having to have constant micromanagement. It's important that leaders can provide support and guidance, but they don't control. And that's quite a difficult thing for some people to accept, because it is a big shift. When Generation Y come into the workforce, they want to be supported, they want to make a contribution, they want to progress, they want to do well. And they will expect employers to help them to get there, whatever it takes. And if they don't get there, they will tell you what they want, which is a good thing. When they rise up into leadership, they will lead in the same way. And if we're looking at the feminisation of leadership, these very skills of support, trust, nurturing tend to be more female skills. So I think it'd be quite interesting to see whether all of Generation Y adopt those skills, or whether the women are still a bit ahead. I don't know, we'll see, won't we? Current leaders should be, first of all, honing their own leadership skills today in 2013, not 10 years ago, and making sure that they're up to date and they're doing the right things to get the absolute best out of their workforce, because it's so important. And then they need to be growing these leadership skills in Generation Y. One way of doing this would be for an organisation to decide how they lead. Very few organisations actually sit down and say, what are our key leadership capabilities? And that often opens quite a big debate. But it's very, very important to come to a conclusion, because once you know how the organisation will lead, you can then make sure that everybody leads in that way, and then the leaders of tomorrow can evolve that approach.